Ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad about this story because it disproves the myth, the fallacy, and the lie that white people are inherently and innately intellectually superior to us, because they're not. For years, they have promoted the lie and the theory that we are inferior to them, and that is not true. This scandal proves it. Okay, and I'll go into that more deeper a little later. But I'm going to delve into this article found on AtlantaBlackStar.com. The title of the article is "Keep That Same Energy." Critics argue college admission scandal is nothing new. Reignite debate over affirmative action. So let's go into the article. Shocking details continue to emerge in an alleged multi-million-dollar admission scheme in which wealthy white parents use their money, influence, and familial ties to bribe their children's way into the nation's top colleges. But I thought white people had the highest IQs. I thought that they were fucking intellectually superior than us. They don't need help getting into college. They don't need help getting into Ivy League schools because, they're the best and the brightest, right? Obviously, they're not. Hollywood actresses Felicity Hoffman and Lori Loughlin were among the 50 people charged on Tuesday in what federal authorities called the biggest college admission scam ever prosecuted. A group accused of shelling out nearly $25 million in bribes. Think about that. It is the biggest college admission scam ever prosecuted, y'all. White people did this shit, not black people. They want you to believe that black people are the problems to society, that they're the biggest criminals, scammers, and shit like that, when all we do is literally street violence and shit like that. Not nothing like this where we're defrauding the government, where we're scamming the education system. This is all white shit, okay? But they want you to believe that you're the biggest threat to society. Get the fuck out of here. Now, fallout from the controversy has sparked renewed debate around affirmative action and the idea that it takes spots away from more deserving students. Furthermore, I want the people who were up in arms about affirmative action in college admittance to keep that same energy for rich people who pay to get their kids into Ivy League schools. So for all of you people that criticize affirmative action, which was a legitimate policy for people that were historically discriminated against in an uneven or unlevel playing field, that actually leveled the playing field so that they can have educational opportunity, make sure you have that same anger and energy towards these affluent white women and white people that bought their kids into these Ivy League schools. Make sure you have that same energy. All right. After the FBI announced charges against the defendants, which included top industry CEOs, college coaches, and even SAT and ACT test administrators. Look at the actors involved in this. Top industry CEOs, college coaches, and SAT and ACT test administrators. Wow. These are the people who are actually stealing your kid's spot, she added. So it's not the poor minority kids that come from a broken home with a single mother that's working two jobs to give them a better life and a better opportunity. It's not them. It's the affluent white people, the rich white people that are buying their kids' way into these Ivy League schools. They're stealing your spots. The National Conference on State Legislatures defines affirmative action policies as those in which an institution or organization actively engage in efforts to improve opportunities for historically excluded groups in American society, such as women and racial minorities. Conservative critics have long railed against the policy. however, calling it a racist quota system that gives a minority an unfair advantage over whites. See, the education system was never designed for the black man or the black woman to obtain a high level quality education. It was designed for white people to obtain that. See, the education system is a system of oppression. It's designed to keep black people uneducated and in underperforming schools, and to keep white people of privilege in overperforming schools. Okay? Because white people don't want a level playing field. They want to keep black people disadvantaged because they're intimidated by the black mind. Black people are a threat to white supremacy, and the education system is an extension or a facet of white supremacy. Let me continue. Today's bombshell college admission scandal turned that argument on its head, while also highlighting the issue of legacy admissions, where students are given preference based on their familial ties. Did you know that? Did you know that these kids are admitted because of their uncle or their aunt or their well-known famous cousin? They may have went to a Harvard or a Yale or Ivy League school, and because their famous or notable or rich uncle went there, they automatically get in and get admitted to the school. Isn't that something? Meanwhile, they're telling your kids that they got to work hard, that they got to play by the rules, that they got to study hard, that they got to grind, and that they got to practice for these racist ass, biased ass, standardized testing that are culturally biased. With this bullshit ass, rigged ass system that we got to sweat, that we got to grind for as black people. Meanwhile, they're just skipping into these schools that are beyond their intellectual capabilities. Because white people never had to earn anything. White people never had to fight for anything. White people never had to work for everything. Everything was handed down to them by their racist ass ancestors. And they benefited from a system called white supremacy. And this is just an extension of it. Education. All right. Okay. Based on their familial ties to the alumni of an institution, and how wealthy whites can simply use their money and influence to buy their kids college acceptance. The admission scandal is why students, especially black and Latinx, who earned their place at Ivies with tears and sacrifice, should ignore people who say they are there because of affirmative action, said Twitter user. The truth is, many of the students and parents saying this are the culprits. Activist Samuel Singagwe pointed that Harvard admits more white students with legacy preferences than the number of black students admitted each year. And that's for being related to privilege, not even counting the kids who parents just purchased their admission. So black people, the system is rigged against you. These white people have done nothing but steal and done nothing but rob, done nothing but cheat. As long as we knew them, they robbed us, they cheated us out of our existence. They brought us over here to build the country off of slave labor. They built these colleges and institutions out of slave money by the mighty hand of our ancestors' hand of labor. They built these institutions so that they can benefit from them, not that we can. So white people are the biggest fucking hypocrites in society. They tell you that you gotta pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. They tell you that you gotta work hard and you gotta, that education's paramount and that you gotta do all this, that, and the other. But they're not playing by the rules. They're stealing education. They're defrauding the government. They're buying their way into these elite colleges and universities. Meanwhile, you got to work hard. This is called white privilege. Okay? We got to understand something. White people are not superior to us. They are not. They are nothing without us. The only reason that they're in the superior position is because of the wickedness of their racist ass ancestors. That's the reason why they have a superiority socially. But they're not intellectually superior to us. Okay? So brothers and sisters, I know it's hard, but we got to keep grinding. Okay? We got to build our own institutions. We got to build our own infrastructure. We got to start building generational wealth, because white people don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your kids' future. The only thing that they care about is themselves and advancing white supremacy.